breaking news from as early as yesterday morning, just throughout the day. Although he was spotted in training, that's the kind of person that Tito is, professional, shows up at training, even though behind the scenes, Orlando Pirates are obviously working on a move for him to potentially be leaving this week sometime to go to Bahrain.
Oh, really?
But I can tell you it's a club in Bahrain. That I know for sure. Maybe batlampula mulomo for soccer zone no but as far as I'm led to believe, that deal pretty much a done deal between Orlando Pirates and the club in Bahrain for Tito, who joined 3 years ago from SuperSport United. Some ups and downs at the club, in terms of being a regular or not. Hence, you found him losing his place in the Bafana Bafana squad for the Africa Cup of Nations, men's Africa Cup of Nations in Morocco earlier in the year, and then of course the FIFA World Cup out in the US, Mexico, and Canada. So that deal still in the works, but. The coach was asked, obviously, over the weekend after the match, because, once you don't have Tito in the lineup, it's a notable omission. And the coach was asked about him and Tshepang Moremi, two notable absentees when they faced Kukune United over the weekend. This is what Coach Wadu had to say.
For Moremi, you know that he got knocked the last game, so we wanted to protect him, and I hope to have him for the next game. So we wanted to protect him. For the other player, I cannot say too much about the issue. He's not injured. He was available, but I cannot speak about something that I don't masterize.
I see the coach taking a bit of flack on social media for not saying his name. I think that was just a coincidence, to be honest.
The other player.
To say the other player, because you can obviously, following the story that came after that, the fact that the player is leaving, and it's something that he's not involved in. I don't know, maybe he's a bit miffed.
But the
team is being dismantled. Really, Bogazi, now Tito, Muhau, although it was earlier, Mabasa. The team looks. If you look at the starting lineup alone.
But also, how many of those were actually Wadu's team? Only really. Bogazi left early. Mkote was before.
Bogazi left in January, 6 months after Wadu had been there.
Yeah, but I'm saying the regular player that he had out of all of the ones that have left is really. Mabasa left, wasn't a part of his team. Mm-hmm. Bogazi fine for a short period. But for most of those players, no, they weren't part of his team.
Sort of exit for Orlando Pirates. He hadn't played much, let's be honest. The writing was sort of on the wall, but given that he had gone to Spain for pre-season, started the season with the club, even though he wasn't making the matchday squad, you would think, given all the competitions that they were going to play, Dino would still perhaps be a squad player, but he was released earlier on Friday as well. The coach sort of pays tribute. It's up to you. If you will, because he wasn't using him. So how do you pay tribute to someone you hardly used during your spell at the club? But either way, here's Coach Wadu.
Dino was a fantastic player, sportively and humanly. He gave a lot for the club. He won a lot of trophies. He gave joy to the fans. He gave joy to the club, and I think it's part of the life of a club. To have some movement. So the club and him, I think, find a way for him to continue his career in another club. I was very proud to work with him. And I just want to wish him all the best for his next project.
Yeah, so we're still waiting for an update on where Dino will end up. Apparently, a lot of clubs interest him. You can imagine he was the Stellies captain, top of the charts. That's why Orlando Pirates went for him, and he was pretty solid in his first season under Coach Jose Ribeiro. Andile Ncube is probably his exit is Dino is probably the reason why Andile Ncube ended up leaving Orlando Pirates in the first place. But Sibilebele coming in and being able to play that right back position maybe limited Dino's minutes as well. Let's switch our attention to. I want to talk about two things. VAR. I know.
So hold on. From what we know, does Tito play for the rest of the season, or for the next couple of games as the deal is awaiting, or is it a matter of he's busy, he's got a deal coming through, so is disregarded as part of the squad up until the deal goes through? Are we going to see Tito in Orlando Pirates colours again?
I think if you look at what happened over the weekend, he was the coach confirmed first of all
fit, he can play.
He was fit, he can play. He was going to travel, from what I understand, and he was available. The coach even said in his own words that he was available for selection and was pulled out from the traveling party because obviously negotiations and all of that. So I could be wrong, but I don't expect Tito to be playing. If all goes well, I think Tito will leave this week. To go to Bahrain. If there's stumbling blocks, you know how these things happen. I personally, from what I understand, I don't expect him to be in a Pirates shirt again, especially on Wednesday when they play Sekhukhune and again over the weekend. But things can change. It's the transfer market for you silly season. So let's move on now. I want to switch attention to two things. VAR. Tatana, I'm sure, maybe has prepared something on that. But I want to play a couple of clips from the minister. We've been waiting. As we were saying, top of the show, we saw the 20 million rand invoice. Abdul Ibrahim confirmed during an interview pre-season with my colleague Velile Mnyandu that they have
money has arrived.
The money has arrived, and they're waiting for the SAFA NEC to give them direction. Yesterday, Sports Awards, the minister says, I've written a letter to SAFA. Where is the money? Pay it back. Now he says 13, but the invoice said 20. He's asked, and then the part that boggles the mind, and listen to what the minister has to say here, is that SAFA has asked for 21 days. Bye, Gile.
Let me tell you what's happening with VAR. FIFA's rules states clearly it has to happen through the South African Football Association. What I did as a minister, I did two things. I took journalists, I took administrators, and I took the team down to Spain so that they can go and see into the UK so that we can compare which one is the best for us. I then took 13 million rand and I gave to SAFA. And I can tell you now, that's where I can't do more as the minister. I wrote SAFA a letter where I said they should return my money. And SAFA asked for 21 days grace. I am just as angry, because what more can I do? I asked them in a letter, bring back my money, the money of the state, because I am responsible for it. They said they will act within 20, because there was no action. We were supposed to have had VAR. So people shouldn't look at me. I'm the minister that put it on the table that VAR should be there. I did everything humanly possible. Now I'm writing to FIFA. I've already spoken to FIFA, but I'm writing to them. They wanted in writing that I must go another way to get VAR. And I'm going to do that. There shall be VAR in the PS. And I want to apologize to the people. I've been let down terribly, because what can I say? I have done everything. For me to write a letter to that extent, you must know how I feel.
Sure. Lots of unanswered questions here.
Yeah, I think he opened up. There's
can
more
of worms.
Yeah,
no, 100%. He's opened up a can of worms here already. If for me, like if he wrote a letter, say, "Kikupa chelete back," and then say, okay, give us the bank account, we send it back because this thing's not going to happen now. Maybe we plan for later. They asked for 21 days. Where did the money go?
But it could be they asked for 21 days to because he emotionally asked for the money back.
Yeah.
Give us 21 days to figure out how we respond to you. Because
enough.
Remember, where did the money to take the journalists in South Africa and some of the referees as well to Spain? Bennett or to Spain to go look at different VAR and test out. Surely somebody had to pay for that.
Yeah.
So that could have come from the same 20 million to say it's part of the VAR acquisition.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I think the minister perhaps a little emotional there because it's not happening within the time frames that he keeps promising South Africa.
Yeah.
The question is, Minister, why do you keep giving timelines for VAR? What is that informed by? Who has told you that this thing is happening.
Especially when it's not in his hands.
It's not in your hands. It's in SAFA's hands. There obviously is a huge communication breakdown between the two of you, because constantly on Twitter, the minister's asking, VAR, what's happening? What's happening? Minister, why are you asking us?
Yes.
Why are you asking in vain?
Yeah.
You should know this. But then I'm not coming to you because I know you have your own section, unless if you want to get in now.
Yeah, no, we'll save the best for last. But he also, the minister, that's Gayton McKenzie, also touches on interference. I'll let him explain what he means by that.
I'm not interfering as government. People like to say, don't interfere in SAFA. I'm not a stupid minister. I know the rules. I read the rules of FIFA. The rules of FIFA is very clear. That's why I'm going to FIFA. I'm not stopping. Some countries have been banned. They just close the doors of the federations. I don't operate like that. I'm a man that reads. I'm a man that follows the correct procedure. But there will be VAR. You ask yourself, what is this thing not wanting VAR? VAR must be here. Players are getting injured. You saw the tackles from different teams. How they tackle the players. That's career-ending tackles. You saw referees. You can see a game, you're like, some games you can just see, man. And I'm saying these things to you so that you must understand that people mustn't, because I've been being blamed and I've not said anything until tonight. This is breaking news for you guys.
No, it was breaking news for real. It's been trending all over social media. Let me finish off. I had a couple more, but I need to give Tatana some space as well. He also touches on this dragging conversation around the Bafana Bafana coach. The SAFA NEC approved Tito Mosimane to return for a second spell with the men's senior national team, but that hasn't happened so far. Although my colleague William Nyandu did do a story this morning that talks have concluded, just a couple of minor things, and possibly Bafana Bafana coach could be announced this week. It's over 2 weeks now since the SAFA NEC held that press conference at Nasrec and confirmed that they've approved the return of Tito Mosimane. Here's the minister on the pending appointment of the Bafana Bafana coach.
And I'm going to get the report because I've been told that Tito Mosimane is our coach. We come from a country where black people were paid less than white people. That scars has not been healed for many people. But we as black people cannot do the same thing that has been done to us, where you pay the white man more. And Tito Mosimane is not a coach of the Muzepe. Let us be straight about it. We must give people, it's like we are scared of white people. The white people will pay them more, but when it comes to black people, Tito Mosimane should be paid. The least they can do is to start him with the way that they started Bruce. Because black people still have that hurt that they were underpaid, undervalued. We cannot have that. Sometimes you ask yourself, but who's taking this decision? Who's taking decisions to... They love crises, that's the problem. Even a thing they can just sort out easily, they must make a crisis.
Well, at least the minister's confirming a lot of things. Mm-hmm. I'm assuming that the minister's saying all of this with authority. So he's saying the stumbling block was the finances. Because yes, a lot of reports, I know Velile has been on top of the story, but to actually you don't ever hear the confirmation of all of this. We always get the stories and just tell them to people, as a source that had told us or for whatever. But the minister's then obviously confirming that, one, there was a monetary delay. Two, Peter was being offered way less than what Hugo was started on. Not even what he was on. What Hugo, because it says what Hugo started on. So at least we know that for sure, which means then I need to call. We had thingy on Thursday. We had Jack Maluleke, who's chairperson of the technical committee, but also president of the Nepal. That means he wasn't honest and truthful with us, because he said there was no such thing as monetary issues. So that's Jack Maluleke. If the minister to be believed, you aren't.